My queen, I've introduced you today. And not just to people, but to my world. For a long time, I kept you quiet. Not because I wasn't proud, not because I was unsure, but because I was afraid. Afraid of letting something so pure be exposed to noise, to opinions, to eyes that don't understand what we have. But today I chose differently. I chose to stop hiding my joy. I chose to let the world see the woman who holds my peace. You didn't ask for this. You never pressured me. You never made me feel like I owed you a post, a label, a public moment. But you gave me so much without ever asking for anything back. And that's exactly why I wanted to give you this, to say this is her. She's mine, and I'm proud of that. Because what we've built, it's been growing quietly, steadily, day by day, and now it's strong enough to be seen. I didn't do it for likes. I didn't do it for claps or comments. I did it because my heart is full. And when something fills your heart that much, you don't want to keep it to yourself forever. Today I introduced you, and it felt like the most honest thing I've done in a long time. The moment I introduced you, my phone didn't stop buzzing. Notifications, messages, reactions, some full of support, some full of curiosity, and a few full of noise. People noticed. They always do when something is real. Some were surprised, some asked questions, some smiled quietly and said, "About time," and honestly, I felt all kinds of emotions. A little nervous, a little exposed, but mostly calm. Because deep down I wasn't thinking about what they would say, how your heart would receive it. If you'd smile when you saw it, if you'd feel seen, if you'd finally feel safe knowing you no longer had to wonder where you stand. That's all that mattered to me, not the noise, not the reactions, just your peace. Because this was never about putting you on display. This was about honoring you. You've been by my side through silent days and unspoken feelings. You never begged to be posted. You never questioned why I kept things low. You just stayed real. And because you gave me space, I found clarity. And today I wanted the world to know what I already knew in my heart. That you are the woman I admire, the peace I come home to, and the person I want the world to know I stand beside. Introducing you wasn't just a gesture, it was a shift. Something inside me felt lighter, like I had finally let go of whatever fear I was still holding on to. The fear of being too open, the fear of being judged, the fear of letting something precious live in the light. But the moment I made it known, you're the one I care for, you're the one I choose, I felt something I hadn't felt in a long time. Freedom. Not the kind that runs, the kind that stays. Because real love isn't supposed to feel like hiding. It's supposed to feel like peace, like truth, like standing in front of the world and saying, "This is who I love, and I love her proudly." That's what this moment became for me. Not a post, not a caption, not an announcement. A turning point where I stopped protecting myself from something that was never a threat and started protecting us instead. By owning this love fully, openly, and without fear. You didn't need it, but you deserved it. And now, every time I see your name next to mine, or your photo on my screen, or hear someone say, "She really is special," I don't feel pressure, I feel peace. Because this is what love is supposed to feel like. Not loud but proud. Not perfect but present. And finally, real. After I introduced you, something unexpected happened. It wasn't just about you being seen. It was like I saw myself clearer too. For the first time, I realized how long I had been holding back. Not just in love, but in life. Playing it safe. Staying quiet. avoiding anything that felt too deep, too real, too open. But when I looked at that post, when I saw your picture there, next to my name, next to my heart, it hit me. I'm not scared anymore, because loving you openly made me feel stronger, not weaker. It made me realize that hiding what matters most doesn't protect it. It just holds it hostage. And I don't want to live like that. Not with you. I want to love out loud. Not for the world, but for us. Because when love is real, when it's rooted in truth and patience and mutual respect, it deserves to breathe. It deserves to grow in the light. And now that I've said, this is her, my queen, there's no turning back. Not because I'm trapped, but because I'm free. Free to love you with both hands. Free to show up fully. Free to give you all of me, not just the parts I felt safe showing. Introducing you didn't just make it real for others. It made it real for me in a way I hadn't allowed myself to feel before. And now I'm done holding back. The messages came in fast. Some were casual, some curious. But then there were a few, the ones that really stayed with me. People close to me, the ones who actually know me. They said things like, "You look different. I haven't seen you smile like that in a long time. There's a calm in you now." And I didn't even realize it until they said it. But they were right. You didn't just change how I love. You changed how I carry love, how I carry myself. There's a softness in you now that used to be covered up by defense. There's a stillness where there used to be overthinking. You didn't force that. You just loved me in a way that let all of that settle. Even people who rarely say much, they noticed. They saw the difference. And the truth is, I feel it too. It's not about finally having someone. It's about having the right one. You bring peace to places in me that never knew quiet. You make the future feel less like a question and more like something I want to build. And now when people ask, "Is this serious?" I don't even need to explain. They see it in my tone, in my eyes, in the way your name fits into my sentences, without hesitation. So yes, I introduced you today. But the truth is, your love introduced me to a better version of myself. Now that I've introduced you, I find myself thinking about what's next. Not in a rushed way, not like I'm trying to skip ahead, but in a calm, steady kind of way, like I'm finally walking in the right direction. I think about mornings that start with you, not just on the phone but in the same space. The kind where I make you coffee the way you like it, and you remind me to slow down and eat something before I leave. I think about your things next to mine, in drawers, on shelves, in routines. How our days might blend together in quiet harmony, no longer separated by distance or time. I think about making space, not just in my life but in my heart. You're not just someone I introduce to the world. You're someone I want to build with, brick by brick, moment by moment. I'm not dreaming of a perfect life. I'm dreaming of a shared one. One where we don't need grand gestures every day. Just shared meals, shared peace, shared goals. Where us means comfort, not confusion. Where love doesn't have to be earned daily, because it's already secure, already home. You've made me excited about the future in a way I didn't expect. And now that I've brought you into my world, I want to start laying the foundation for something that lasts, not just between us, but around us. Forever used to scare me, not because I didn't want love, but because I didn't know what love that stays looked like. I thought forever meant pressure. I thought it meant being perfect every day, never messing up, never having doubts. But with you, forever feels different. It doesn't feel heavy, it feels soft. It feels like breathing easier. Because now, forever doesn't mean locking each other in. It means choosing each other again and again. Even when it's not easy, even when life feels off, even when we're tired, or quiet, or not quite ourselves. You've made forever feel less like a promise and more like a practice. A daily showing up, a daily I'm here, a daily we're doing this together. I used to wonder how I'd know if someone was the one, but with you I stopped wondering. Not because everything is perfect, but because for the first time, nothing feels like it's missing. I don't look over my shoulder anymore. I don't question what we are. I don't plan backup options in case things fall apart. I'm here with you, fully, willingly, forever. With you feels like peace, because I know it's not just something we talk about. It's something we live. And now that I've introduced you to my world, I'm ready to build a life that makes that word forever feel like the most natural thing we've ever stepped into. And now, here we are. No more hiding, no more waiting, no more wondering if the moment is right. Because this is it. You're in my life. You're known, you're loved, and you're mine. So here's what I want to say now. Not for the world, not for show, but for you. I'm not promising perfection. I won't always say the right thing. I'll have days where I mess up, where I go quiet, where I need your grace. But I promise you this, I will always come back to us. No matter what we face, no matter how hard life gets, you'll never have to question if I'm still choosing you, because I am. And I will every day. I'll protect your heart when the world tries to harden it. I'll remind you of your beauty on the days you can't feel it. I'll keep showing up in words, in actions, in presence. I won't just say I love you. I'll live it. I'll keep listening, keep learning, keep growing into the kind of man this love deserves. Because introducing you wasn't the end of something. It was the beginning of building, of trusting, of walking forward hand in hand with patience and peace between us. So my queen, now that you're here, you won't walk alone again. Not as long as I have breath. Not as long as I have a heart that beats with your name in it.